3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Tee It Up Grandstand. I'm your host, Shan Coughlin, here with Mr. Patrick Wilkinson from Black Bear Golf Club. How are you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Hey, before we get into talking about the golf course, we have to give a shout out. I believe you were telling me some very good news about your son.
Right. My son, he's a senior at Newberry College, and he was named honorable mention for the conference that came out yesterday.
Nice.
And that's about 3 days before he heads to his conference championship up at Firethorn Country Club. So that was a good honor for him. He's worked hard for it, and it's a good honor.
Well, that sounds good. So we want to give a shout out. Way to go, Ryan. Good luck this weekend. Is that him here in the picture?
That is correct. That's him on the right.
So if you're just listening on an app, you can go to thegolfdirector.com, click on the TV tab. Too many TGDs and TVs here. And you can see us, but I'm looking at my computer. And he was in the Newberry Wolves news announcing that. So that was pretty cool. His teammate, Tommy Hurst out of Miami, Florida, was named second team All-ACC, All-SAC.
Right. So
SAC.
they've been
That was
together
cool.
for the last 4 years, and they're trying to go out with a big bang and do well up at the conference.
All right, I know you're a proud papa and all, but they got a good shot?
No.
No. Aw.
Well, no, and I think Ryan and Tommy,
Yeah,
that as individuals, they have a real good chance.
Good.
The team is not as strong as where they probably want to be at this time,
okay.
but so they're a little weak on that.
Right.
But as for the two individuals, they've got a good chance to move on.
And people might not know, I didn't put you on the spot as much as some might think. You are a coach, so you do coach
I coach the
high
high
school,
school
yeah.
golf team, yes.
here, so he knows what he's talking about, even though it's his son. Because
Right.
I'm totally biased with mine. So people ask me, and I have a soccer player, they're like, well, how does he play? I'm like, awesome.
There
Really?
you go.
So, Black Bear, right up on Highway 9
That's
in
right.
Long, South Carolina. Perfect for the in or out, or even if you just want to get away from the beach.
That's exactly
little
right.
bit.
We don't have any homes on site, so
That's
it's
right.
a great place to come, take a relaxing stroll. We're 12 miles from the Waterway Bridge coming out of North Myrtle Beach, so it's not that far, but you get out there, no homes on site, and you get out and play a lovely round of golf, and you can head back to the beach, or if you're on your way home or on your way in, it's the perfect stop and go point.
Absolutely. And always great rates.
Oh, yeah, some of the best in the area by far.
And now talk to me a little bit about overseeding. Did y'all overseed this year?
We overseeded the fairways and the tees. We painted the greens like a lot of the other courses.
Right.
And that went well. We could have got a little bit, maybe a little warmer weather
Warmer,
earlier.
quicker, yes.
Yeah, that little warm spell we went through for about a week or two, and then they started growing, and that frost really hurt us. But they're coming out of it real well right now, and
Nice.
everything's in good shape.
Very nice. Plus, it's a little bit easier to do things with the greens, I think, and get them to roll a little bit smoother.
Oh yeah, when you just paint them, we can do a lot more things, and because you don't have to worry about either the bent grass that you overseed with, or the Poa trivialis, or whatever it would be. So it's a lot easier to maintain the greens.
There you go. Now, there's a little bit of water out there.
Oh, about 23 little Finger Lakes out there. Oh yeah.
But we talked about this last time, and I think it's important. It makes the pictures beautiful, but most of them don't come into play.
That's right, unless you really hit it left or right, and you
Oh,
can't.
never mind then. They're in play for me.
Really, there's only one hole that's a little bit of a carry that you have to carry across, but everything else you can maneuver your way around. But they're out there. There's a lot of water.
A lot of water, which makes for some beautiful wildlife.
Oh yeah,
though.
oh yeah.
A lot
You
of
see
birds.
a lot of birds, a lot of animals out there. We have a wide variety of wildlife out there.
You have gators out there?
We don't have any gators.
Okay.
We've in the last 15 years I've seen one alligator out there.
Okay. Because when you said Finger Lakes, that's not even brackish. That's freshwater out
That's
there,
fresh water. These little ponds that were put there because it was an old tobacco farm.
Oh, okay.
And they did crops on there, so they had these little ponds. And then when Tom Jackson designed it, he just incorporated some more ponds around. We have two natural spring-fed lakes or ponds out there, and everything else is man-made.
I guess I didn't realize that was a tobacco farm.
Yeah, a lot of tobacco farms out there.
So
There's
when-
a big farm, and from there they also had corn and everything else, and that's where the Brooks family used to go out and hunt.
Oh,
Bob
okay.
Brooks and his family. They grew up hunting that land.
Bob Brooks of the Hooters fame.
Right.
Wow. Excuse me. So, let's see. I know you've been there 15 years. How long has the course been there?
It was built in '89.
89. And so, how far before that was it a farm? Was it right up until
I
then?
think
do you
pretty
know?
much up to that point there that they bought it, and the group from Canada, Bob Burgess and that crowd, bought it and decided to build a golf course out there. So it was pretty much a farm up to then.
So it's always been pristine.
It's been
Like
nice.
that.
It's nice.
There you go. So coming into, or we're in the midst of spring golf, right in the middle of the season. When people are coming off the course, what's the one thing you're hearing the most?
Really, the most. When's it going to stop raining?
Oh, I told you not to mention that word.
I know, but that's the biggest thing is just we've had a lot of rain.
We have had a lot of rain.
And we'll get off the cart pass for 2 or 3 days, and then we'll be back on for 5 or 6. So that's the biggest topic of conversation. Besides that, they come on and say, "Man, what are you doing to the greens? They're fast," and they have been real fast this year, faster than in the past. But I don't know the real reason for it. But they were rolling real quick.
So normally with dampness, see, I'm not going to say that word, with dampness,
Right.
Everything gets slower.
Right. These greens, even before I came out here today, they said, I don't know what's happening with the greens, but they are fast. They either laid down or something, but they're rolling today.
They're rolling.
And I don't know the reason behind it, but they are moving.
As long as they're rolling true, though.
That's
the
it.
important
That's
thing.
it. They're-
I tell you, when I worked at the golf course, the biggest, I guess, chuckle I always got was you'd have a group of guys, either 4, 8, 12, whatever the group was, and 3/4 of them, 3 of 4, usually would come in loving the greens, and 1 of 4
Hated them.
complaining
Oh,
about
just
the greens.
fussing and complaining.
Yeah, so I always knew who lost the money that
That's
day.
right. That's an easy way to tell because they will. You're right. They'll come in and then one will be. And then most of the group will be, oh, great. The worst greens in the world. I'll never come back. Oh, yeah. And that's it. And you say, well, that guy there played bad or he couldn't putt or something happened. That's
He
right.
lost a bunch of money.
Exactly.
But no, that's always funny. And I've always said, I know you mentioned painting the greens, but even if they were brown, if you left them brown, although I know that's not as aesthetically pleasing, but as long as they're rolling good, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, and a lot of courses, even down in Louisiana, we went down and played a couple courses down there, and they didn't paint or overseed. They were just brown. The hole was a little tough to see because it's sort of blended in with the dormant
true.
grass, but it was no problem with it. And they're smooth and they really pick up speed. And there's certain courses that probably don't need to not paint or whatever
Right.
because they can get if they have a lot of undulation, you're in trouble because
Too
there's-
fast.
Too fast, and you don't have enough pin placements on some of these greens to make
yeah.
it work.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of spots we can put out there, and it'd be like playing miniature golf, up and back, up and back, up
Let
and
me
back.
say, I'm glad you mentioned that because we went out. I'm not going to mention the course. Starts with an R. Not going to mention the course, River's Edge. And I think the superintendent had it out for us. Now, granted, it was all industry people here in the area. They wouldn't do this for players, I'm sure, regular players, I'm sure. But those pin placements can be diabolical sometimes.
They
and
can
you
be.
guys have some undulations that can
We
make
do.
it real difficult.
And if my staff, when they're setting pins in the morning, if they're not paying attention to what's happening, we've had it. I mean, and I can tell. It only takes 9 holes, and they start coming in, and they say, "Man, what happened?" Well, I 4-putted this green, or you can sit
Yeah.
back, and they're putting up and back. So
And that's no fun.
no, it's no fun, and you
No.
have to go and say, "Hey, watch these breaks here. You got to put it where they can get around. At least give
Yeah.
them a fair shot at it."
Well, yeah, because, if you hit a good shot in, you want a chance to make the birdie. You don't want it so difficult.
Oh yeah, and
You
see,
know.
like I have a ladies group that plays every Wednesday. There's about 60 to 70 that play, and they'll let me know. And for some reason, one of my guys will stick a pin in a bad spot, and then they'll get frustrated, and they'll come back in and they say, I had a 3-foot putt for par and I walk off with a 10. What happened? And then they go up and down. We'd take a putter out and say, "Wow!" And that thing just they thought Augusta
going.
greens were fast, man. They had nothing when these things go dormant.
Nothing on Blackberry.
Oh my goodness!
Well, I was going to say, I've played in some of those women's groups, and you will definitely know one way or another.
They will let you know
They-
and they have a unique way of doing it too.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, very nice. They're very nice. They wait until they all come in and they start one at a time. Bam, 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 bam. Yep.
But there is no mistake when they leave.
No, that's right. You know what has happened when they leave. Because when they walk out the door, they're still saying, "Hey," and reminding me of it again.
Yes.
So, but they're great. They
That's
are.
good to know, though, because here's the thing. If no one tells you, then how do you know?
That's right. You just don't know. You think everything's fine.
No sense beating around the bush.
That's right. And my lady members, they help me a bunch.
There you go. So what kind of things are y'all looking forward to this summer?
This summer, I think the biggest thing is doing some improvements. When the owners took over last year, when we were sold, it just took us some time to get our feet on the ground, get them understanding what was going on with
Right.
being from China. They really didn't know much about the golf business. So it took us all summer long to try to get accounts set up and things like that. Then we ran out of time.
Right.
So now we're set, ready to go, and I think we're going to do a lot of renovation projects this summer.
Nice.
Work on the bunkers, get some things situated where we haven't had a chance because we didn't want to do it while we're in golf
Right.
season because the inconvenience to everybody. So we'll let that get through. So June, July, and August we'll be pretty busy out there doing a lot of necessary maintenance work and renovation that we needed to do.
Right. And that's what we're hearing. We're getting a lot of questions about the Chinese investors coming in and making their purchases. But everything we're hearing is, staff is staying in place. No big changes there generally. They're getting their feet under them and then making good necessary changes to the golf course. So that just benefits everybody.
It does, and not being around the Chinese culture at all, it just took some time to get used to. And I was the third course that was bought by the Chinese, so understanding what they do, and they were very conscious,
receptive?
Yeah. They wanted everybody to understand that, hey, when we come in, we're not looking to fire everybody.
Right.
We're really concerned about what you do and what happens. Unlike the American culture, some people come in, they fire. We take over and let you go when they don't care.
Right.
We made a few changes, but they were more concerned about what happened to the guys that we left. Are they going to be okay?
Right.
Or the American culture, some sort of washed them away. So it got used to doing some of that.
Right.
But yeah, they really they came in and they're making some changes and doing some things, adding some money, and the opportunities to get some players in from China and some other things is really unique with, and especially with some of the people we have helping us.
It's exciting.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Awesome. Well, Patrick, we are out of time. Again, it went way too fast.
Real quick.
Are you going to get to play with your son this weekend?
No. I'm just going up and watch. I'm
You're
going
just
to walk
going to watch?
18 holes a day, 3 days in a row, then I'll be back.
That would make my feet hurt.
That's okay, but it's a few days out of work, too.
That's true. Well, thanks for coming in. We'll look forward to your next update and hear more, hopefully, about those renovations coming up.
Sounds great.
All right. This edition of Tee It Up Grand Strand has been produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured golf course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and more, including Black Bear Golf Club. Need help with your next golf vacation and like to tweet? Hashtag just call Dave and he'll find you. Or pick up a real phone and give us a call at 844-GO-GOLF1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand, so to catch up on a show you might have missed, click on the TGD Radio and TGD TV tabs in the menu at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices through iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and the Myrtle Beach Golf app. This is Shan Coughlin, your host, and on behalf of Mr. Patrick Wilkinson from Black Bear Golf Club, Mr. Jeff behind the glass, we thank you for tuning in. There's more TGD golf news and information coming up next, so don't go anywhere. All right, we're